Coming up on Grady Newsource, the countdown is on to the suspension of SNAP benefits. What resources are available after November 1st? And we are following the path of a dangerous hurricane in the Caribbean. And why a Halloween costume brought free speech into question.
A Nazi costume obviously calls to mind the Holocaust.
All that and more on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. My name is Ethan Wilcox. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says there's insufficient funding for November SNAP benefits as the government shutdown continues. Recipients can use existing funds on their EBT cards, which are like debit cards for SNAP, but they will not work starting on November 1st. With us here in the newsroom to explain in more detail is Grady Newsource reporter Laurie Ruby. Laurie, how do these SNAP benefits work?
Ethan, they're also called food stamps or EBT, and they're assistance for low-income families to get the food they need. These benefits are 100% federally and congressionally funded, so as long as this shutdown continues, there will be no funding for the program.
So with these benefits frozen, what resources can people rely on while SNAP goes without funding?
Before I list everything out, I want to let viewers at home know that on our website, we are compiling a list of resources for all our viewership counties with the title you see below. If you want to read the information I'm about to give, go to gradynewsource.uga.edu after the show. Starting here in Athens-Clarke County, there are a ton of resources spread across the city that are already gearing up to assist anyone in need. One of the largest suppliers is the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia. On their website, you can click Search Food and find resources available near you. In the ACC 30605 zip code alone, there are 20 pantries. Also, the Athens Community Council on Aging offering Meals on Wheels and lunch buddies for senior citizens. I spoke with Betty Booker from Daily Bread Community Kitchen here in Athens about the increasing need. She says these resources are here to help.
Trying to continue to encourage the community. Of course, we've seen hard times before and we've gotten through and we'll get through this too, as long as we continue to lean on one another and trust in the Lord. And
if you are in a position to give, food banks and pantries are seeking donations to help with this increase of people in need.
Primarily financial and any food donations, anything that's perishable, anything that we can freeze, rice and grits and things like that we can prepare in large quantities.
And in every surrounding county, there are many food assistance resources available. Here's a brief list of some of the bigger main food banks and a regional hotline. I'll keep you updated on any changes to SNAP and the government shutdown. To see more resources in any county, again, visit our website. Back to you, Ethan.
Thank you, Laurie. Many parents will likely lose SNAP benefits on November 1st, and Bobby Baby LLC will provide discounted organic original formula at just $14 plus shipping, their lowest price ever. This discount aims to assist families with the out-of-pocket cost of infant nutrition. The weather's getting colder in Athens, and the Sparrow's Nest is running to keep its Warm Project donation drive through October 31st, collecting warm items for those in need.
What'd you say you need this week, Holly?
Poncho.
Poncho, okay.
As temperatures drop across Athens, the Sparrow's Nest is making sure no one is left out in the cold by collecting coats, sleeping bags, and blankets as the colder weather sets in.
Keep Warm Project, it's a clothing donation drive that we do. It's to really help the displaced and unhoused people in our community. It's to keep them warm, keep them safe, and keep them healthy in a time where it's super cold, weather is getting a little dangerous.
The project began early this year after an unexpected cold front in October that brought people through the doors in search of supplies.
Everyone was coming in asking for sleeping bags, tents, blankets, warm coats, like, hey, when are you guys gonna put the warm coats out? Just because there was just that need because the cold came way sooner than we thought it would.
Brown says high-demand items are donation-based only and run out quickly. When supplies are low, they do their best to connect people with their local resources that can help.
Entire resource packet full of stuff because, though we may not have it, someone else will, and we want to point them in the right direction.
Around 400 people experienced homelessness in Athens-Clarke County according to the Point in Time Homeless Counter last year. As the temperatures continue to fall, the Sparrow's Nest is reminding people that helping a neighbor can start with something as small as a jacket or a pair of gloves.
Athens, it's not just a college, it is a community. It is where people are struggling, our brothers and sisters out there. They are unhoused, they're looking for something, and you can provide that. You can provide a jacket, a sleeping bag, gloves, anything, because just like you want to be warm, so do they.
The Sparrow's Nest is accepting winter clothes and sleeping bag donations until October 31st. Every item makes a difference for someone trying to stay warm this season. Lauren Wright, Grady Newsource.
Lauren Wright joins me here at the desk. Lauren, weather's been getting colder these past few weeks. Are local organizations already seeing more people ask for help?
Yes, they are. The Sparrow's Nest says the demand for coats, blankets, and especially sleeping bags has gone up since the early October cold front. Their Keep Warm project helps people who are unhoused or struggling to stay warm through donations from the community.
What are these people needing the most right now?
Well, right now, sleeping bags are at the top of the list. It's hard because not only it's in high demand, but they completely rely on donations.
How long are they going to be taking donations for?
Yes, so the Keep Warm project is taking donations, and they're specifically taking hats, blankets, coats, especially sleeping bags, up until October 31st.
Athens-Clarke County Police expressed their deepest condolences to the family of a missing woman who was found dead near where she had disappeared. Earlier in the day, police issued an Amber Alert in an effort to get more information on her whereabouts. Athens Police partnered with local and state agencies to deploy K-9 units, drones, and on-foot officers. The police stated that the 77-year-old woman suffered from dementia and had disappeared last Friday. On Friday, October 24th at 2:56 a.m., a 33-year-old man was arrested and charged by the Athens-Clarke County Police Department with aggravated assault and simple battery, but not for his Halloween costume. Grady Newsource reporter Isabel Farina joins us live in the studio with the details. Isabel, how did this unfold?
Thanks, Ethan. The suspect was sighted on the sidewalk outside of Cutter's Pub in downtown Athens wearing a full Nazi costume. His outfit provoked outrage amongst a group of people, especially a group of women, one of whom was assaulted after confronting him. But if the incident didn't escalate and violence wasn't involved, the suspect would have had the right to go about the rest of his night in his highly offensive costume. How is this possible? I spoke with the fellow of University of Georgia's Law School First Amendment Clinic, Christina Lee, and she has the answer.
This Nazi costume would likely be considered hate speech because a Nazi costume obviously calls to mind the Holocaust, and Nazi Germany, which obviously was a very dark time for a lot of individuals, or a lot of groups of individuals, but particularly Jewish and other types of groups. So, it's targeted toward at least one type of group of individuals based on who they are.
Izzy, what's the importance of protecting hate speech?
That's a great question, Ethan. And the fact that wearing such a provocative costume is legal may sound really surprising, but it's actually essential to free speech rights. Lee explained that in order for speech to remain free and open, the speech we may not necessarily agree with also has to be protected. Ultimately, the main goal of the First Amendment is to broadly allow individuals to speak and to restrict what the government can do to stop people from speaking.
Everybody should be able to speak, and democracy is kind of enabled and helped when people can spread messages back and forth and kind of come to an understanding of each other and have these debates broadly. And so the First Amendment allows us to have these interactions and debates rather than just shutting down those interactions.
Isabel, what happens next for the suspect?
The suspect was released today at 12:17 this afternoon, but there's currently no other information regarding what comes next for him. I reached out to Athens-Clarke County Sheriff's Office to discuss the incident, but they declined to comment.
Thank you, Izzy. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is looking into an active bladed assault in Wrightsville. Around midnight last night, a Wrightsville Police Department officer and local firefighter were speaking in front of a sidetrack when an unidentified man approached and began swinging a large bladed weapon. The officer fired several shots, and the suspect was wounded and transported to the hospital. The firefighter suffered arm injuries from the blade. No names have been released at this time, as is an active investigation. President Donald Trump landed in Japan today to meet with Emperor Naruhito at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. This marks the second stop of Trump's Asia diplomacy tour. This tour offers an opportunity to discuss the framework for a possible trade deal between the U.S. and China. Trump is expected to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping later this week. Madison County is offering tips on how to become an informed voter for early voting. Hear more after the break.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers. He connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Madison County is hiring poll workers and getting prepared for the November 4th election. Newsource reporter Rebecca Schillinger tells us more. Rebecca joins us live to explain more. Rebecca, how do we find our ballot online?
So that's a great question, Ethan. It's actually really simple to find your ballot when you go online, and it'll help the voting process go a little bit smoother. So I'm going to show you. So you're going to look up myvoterpage.gov, and if you're not already registered to vote in your county, you can vote down here at the bottom. Once you're registered, you're going to put in your first initial, your entire last name, and whatever county that you're registered or going to be registered in. And then you'll put your birthday. Once you hit submit, it'll take you to your sample ballot. Here you'll be able to see for District 2, which is most of Northeast Georgia, you'll be able to see your public service commissioners, and as Ms. Dean had told me earlier, you'll be able to see your special election. So it's pretty simple to see what your ballot looks like, and just a reminder, early ends is coming up next Tuesday on November 4th. Back to you, Ethan.
Thank you, Rebecca. With early voting underway in Athens, the Georgia Secretary of State's election data hub is reporting that just 3.8% of Athens' 70,000 active voters have participated in this current special election, with seniors making up a majority of the votes. The data hub can be found on the Georgia Secretary of State's official website, where you can see updates to your Georgia county's election activity. Madison Oklahoma Animal Shelter is at max capacity with 12 new dogs coming into the shelter over the weekend. They say every run is filled and many have 2 dogs sharing a space. Adoption fees are reduced for the rest of October. You can meet animals between Wednesday and Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. or Sunday from 12 to 4 p.m. After the break, your 5-day forecast and a look at potentially deadly hurricane bearing down on Jamaica.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Hi, I'm Sophia Stafford with your weather forecast. So for everyone who is praying to an end to that drought, we did see rain all here today, Monday, here in Athens, and that will clear up by the time we get to Tuesday morning. We'll see a bit more showers Wednesday, but then it will be clear for the rest of the week is what the forecast says. Friday, actually, it's going to be sunny, though we will see a pretty low of 38. So yes, we have had rain here in Athens, but people in Jamaica are preparing for what is potentially a deadly hurricane. Hurricane Melissa has been categorized as a Category 5 hurricane, and it's going to land tomorrow morning in Jamaica. The wind speeds are going to be about 175 miles per hour as of about 2 p.m. today, according to the National Hurricane Center. University of Georgia climatologist Pam Knox says the island country will see unprecedented damage.
The amount of devastation is just going to be astounding. Really something that most of them have never seen before. We're talking most roofs will probably blow off, trees will be flattened. So the winds are going to be a huge problem, but we're also expected to see tremendously heavy rain. It's already raining there. Some places are expected to receive feet of rain instead of inches of rain.
The National Hurricane Center has issued hurricane warnings for Jamaica and Cuba, as well as hurricane watches for the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Knox says a misconception people might have about hurricanes is that it doesn't take that long to recover from them. She points to the lasting effects of Hurricane Helene.
I think if you talk to people in Georgia now that are in areas that were hit by Helene, some of those people are still really suffering from that.
Since Jamaica is an island country in the Caribbean, though, it will be even more difficult to fly in aid, especially since the airport will likely be flooded.
So that's going to be underwater for we don't know how long. And so chances are that they could not be able to have aid fly in for a while, just depending on how big the hurricane is, how soon it crosses over.
For those looking to help, Knox recommends donating money to organizations that have a history of providing relief to the Caribbean, like the Red Cross. And we're going to take a look at the path of that hurricane. So right now, the National Hurricane Center is projecting that it's right below Jamaica right now, and it's going to head northeast up into the Caribbean. And when looking at these forecasts, these cone forecasts, it's important to keep in mind that it's not a sign of whether you should evacuate or not. Always look to your local government for evacuation warnings. And also it's not the limit of where the hurricane is going to hit. Winds and rain could always go outside of that cone that's predicted. Coming up after the break, a look into the NBA gambling investigation with sports reporter Lauren Coughlin.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise.
on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren Coughlin with a look at sports. Lots has been happening in basketball lately in Georgia and outside. The University of Georgia basketball team has had their preseason showcase where they defeated Troy 81-65. A strong start to the season and much more to come with their first official game being against Bellarmine a week from today. In other basketball news, over the weekend there were some significant developments in the NBA gambling investigation. On Thursday, Chauncey Billups, coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Damon Jones, a former NBA player, and Terry Rozier, a Miami Heat player, were taken into custody in connection to an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned years, according to FBI Director Kash Patel. 2 different investigations are underway and 2 indictments have been filed, one for an alleged illegal poker scheme and one for an alleged sports betting scheme. Billups and Jones were allegedly involved in the criminal schemes to rig illegal poker games in various places across the U.S. Separate from the poker-related charges, the FBI says Jones and Rozier allegedly informed the defendants of confidential information of players such as medical information, player performances, and player intentions to alter upcoming game performances that favor bettors in their inner circles. Carlo Finlay, the assistant director of the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, says high-level basketball players being involved in betting should be kept separate.
We want to keep these things separate, and we don't like the idea of players having any interest in involvement, whether that's sports betting or illegal poker games. I mean, all of that, I think, is concerning and problematic for the league. And so I think the optics are really, really bad because it suggests that these are players that are unfortunately involved in betting all the time. So I think that's something to really monitor.
The NBA Communications has released a statement on X saying that Billups and Rozier have been placed on immediate leave from their teams. We continue to monitor this story and bring you the latest. After the break, Madison County is offering tips on how to be informed as a voter in early voting. Here is more information after the break.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Madison County is hiring poll workers and getting prepared for the November 4th election. Newsource reporter Rebecca Schillinger tells us more.
Early voting for the Georgia Public Service Commission and County SPLOST is underway at the Madison County Board of Elections. Election officials are giving tips to those who are considering early voting.
Educate yourself about the SPLOST, read up on that. There's been some things that the Board of Commissioners has put in the paper about that. Just be aware that's going to be a long question that is on there, but it's just a yes or no.
Dean is referring to SPLOST, which stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. It is a 1% sales tax collected for transportation projects. Madison County is in District 2 for public commissioners. The candidates are Republican incumbent Tim Echols, who was last elected in 2010, and his opponent, Democrat Alicia Johnson. The Madison County Board of Elections has reached 490 voters as of 9 o'clock this morning. Election officials say early voting has been very slow in a county with 24,000 voters. Dean is disheartened by Madison County with the small number of votes, and they are trying to help people become informed.
It is very common for someone to walk in the door and say, I don't know what I'm voting for. So we have sample ballots up here at the counter that we can hand to them before they get ready to check in and go into the voting.
At the same time, they're preparing for the November 4th vote by hiring poll workers. Most of the poll workers are retired. They have about 4 to 5 workers in the office for off-year elections. During the presidential election, Madison County will have around 80 workers to send off to their precincts. If you are not able to vote on Election Day next Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., early voting is going on in Madison County at the Board of Elections office, which is located at 20 Albany Avenue, Danielsville, Georgia. Make sure you bring your license. They are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Madison County held its annual Harvest Festival this Saturday. Grady Newsource reporter Zach Pascuzzi reports on an opportunity for local vendors to showcase their businesses.
It gives it a spotlight for sure. People get to meet you face to face, and that helps people to connect with the product better. And then also other people can find out where your product is located around the county.
Braswell is attending the Harvest Festival. The owner of Proverbs 31 Farmstead sells products like soap and lotion, all made from raw milk.
I one day decided that I would like a dairy cow, and then I had a ton of extra milk, and I had to find things to do with it.
The Madison County Chamber of Commerce says the Harvest Festival is a demonstration of the county's commitment to its small business owners.
I actually got a scholarship from the Chamber of Commerce when I first started my business about 5 years ago. They've been really, really good to me and helpful.
Jill Parham, president of the Chamber, says that small business owners are the ones who give back to the community in the biggest ways.
They're going to show up on a volunteer level at civic organizations. They're going to make donations to local Little League teams. They're going to be the ones that are, spending their money here in Madison County too, because they understand how important it is to shop local.
Parham said that more dollars getting spent in Madison County at local businesses creates more tax revenue, which drives growth and helps fund improvements to roads, schools, and other infrastructure.
We really want to help drive money spending here in Madison County. And every time you support a small business, you're doing that. If they're thriving and doing well, then the entire community is thriving and doing well.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Zach Pascuzzi.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Ethan Wilcox with Grady Newsource.
won the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
So I think we're live on the air. Thank you very much to our viewers for joining us. And as you can see, applause for our wonderful team. We're a much smaller team today. For the first time this semester, we had how many? 5 people out today, but everybody stepped in. We're a true team, and I'm really, really proud of everyone who contributed, changed roles, was very open to being switched to roles that they didn't expect to be doing today on a very rainy, cold day. And I'm really, really proud. I think we learned a lot. We turned a challenge into an opportunity. Wonderful technical staff. We have Gabby here, who also was short on people on the technical side, and she had to perform the duties of her technical director. Would love to hear from you. Where is a mic for you?
You guys, I mean, good job pulling it off today. I know I came in here earlier this afternoon and there was some solemn vibes in here. But great job. I will say I'm really sorry about that package that didn't play. I think it was just a lot for my brain what's happening at one time. But sorry for that. But great job, everyone. I would just say, as a tech tide, I know you were super busy getting it together. Maybe just if I had a little bit more time with you to just go over the stuff, so we could have worked out that switching scene thing a little bit earlier, so we kind of knew what was happening with there. We were able to pull off all the Q&As, so I think, good job for everyone who did that. And the mic switches, great job everyone on the mic switch, by the way. Great job, but yeah, just a little bit earlier. I know you were working really hard. You kind of worked around the lack of packages there, but yeah, a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit more in depth, but on both of our ends, I think I could have sat with you a little longer and had it explained more to me, as well as figuring out what was happening with the Q&As. But good job, everyone, getting their packages. I know it was a little close to the deadline, but you guys did great.
And you did great. That was not easy for you with
Thank you.
lack of volunteers. You were doing several people's work at the same time, and we really appreciate it. There was just one hiccup. That's all, and we still got to play the package.
Yes, good job rewriting that.
Yeah, and Becca, good job. Nobody. I mean, she was just like like that was supposed to happen that way. She was not supposed to run her pack. You were just solid, absolutely solid, like nothing had happened. You demonstrated that was important information. Went very smooth. With the smartboard, I saw how much you practiced, and it showed. And then we were able to resurrect and bring back your package at the end. It was an excellent package. I loved your stand-up, your demeanor, the way you covered it, the B-roll. I think you did a great job with it, and the live demo. You had some great graphics also. This was not easy to visualize. And and as I mentioned, I love the stand-up also, very, very topical, because you were there and you just told us when you were there how few people had showed up. So you established your presence as a reporter there. So very, very well done, and really, really appreciated it. I also appreciate Izzy switching and finding this very important story and finding sources for that story. Just one thing, when you have an audio source, we needed a lower third because we didn't understand who was speaking with the audio. Was that you with the audio? No, that was Laurie. Sorry, confusion. You didn't have that. That Laurie had that audio, and we didn't see the lower third of the person who was speaking. Otherwise, you did a great job as well, but it was just the audiogram. But we heard the voice, but not the lower third who was speaking.
No, I heard the second side, not the first one. So the first time, it didn't have it, and the second time it did. I mixed up my saw. I labeled them wrong, and I meant to flip them.
That was, I mean, I'm just nitpicking, but that was a difficult, and sorry, I confused my content here, and I apologize. Let me finish with Izzy. Really proud of you of what you did at a very short notice and how you handled a very important, very disturbing, very sensitive story. That was not easy. And I would just say, you know, I love the Q&A between you and Ethan. I would just say let go even more in front of the camera and be more conversational, just like you're talking to people. That's my just advice, to keep developing your beautiful delivery. You can watch it again and you can see there were opportunities for you to be a little bit more conversational, and we can watch it together if you want. But that's my advice moving forward in the final month, the final things that I would love to help you with. But this was not easy. You did a great job preparing and also delivering, and the Q&A was very good. And that's, yeah, I'm really proud of you, and I really appreciate that very, very much. Laurie, really proud of you as well. That was not easy. I mentioned that audio thing. And there was also at one point you mentioned that we had on our website links and we didn't see, you said at the bottom of our screen, and it didn't go up. I don't know why. But those are just little things. And at the end, we saw the graphic which you had all the other information you were referring to. And again, very, very well done presentation. For you also, try to be even more conversational and loosen up and let go. But both of you did a great job, and that added a lot to our show. Lauren Sparrow's Nest was kind of a very nice human story. We appreciate very much the fact that we turned you around and you were very flexible. And I like the Q&A also. Nice formatting, nice B-roll, and good Q&A. The two of you were looking at each other, though we could still tell you were reading at some points, but you managed to kind of let go of the teleprompter, and the two of you looked at each other. There was chemistry and interaction. And try to ad-lib even more when you're sitting next to the anchor. But again, it was a beautiful addition to our show. I really appreciate it. And I will make it, I hope, you know, I made it up to you. You still have time to write your story, and hopefully we won't have as many sick outs, so I will be able to give you that time. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate, Sophia, that was a wonderful job you did with Hurricane Melissa. Again, you were just a digital content creator. Thank you, Catherine, for letting us work for us as well. And that was very well done. Just a great job taking us through the pathway of Melissa. The way you did that mini package was very informative, with the meteorologist giving us the magnitude of that storm. She put it in such great words. Also great thinking to localize it, asking her about the impact and how she could compare it to Georgia. And she said, you know, people haven't recovered from Hurricane Helene yet here. So it's very difficult to recover, especially for a country like Jamaica, which is a developing country. It's going to be even harder. So that comparison, that analogy really, really helped me as your viewer and our viewers put into perspective what a monster of a storm and how difficult the recovery will be, and then adding at the end how people could help if they want to help, because a lot of other Caribbean poor nations are going probably in the path of that storm. Very well done, very impressive work at very short notice. Really, really proud and really grateful for your flexibility. Zach, I thought your story Your story came together very well. I love the way you framed the first source, but the second one, you'd put her in a corner in a room, try to avoid room corners, have some depth behind you whenever you're interviewing people. But I loved the first source, was very well framed, looked wonderful there, in the sunny day when you interviewed her. That was a wonderful shot. And try to do the same with all sources. Avoid walls and corners of rooms. A little bit of shaky video if you can always get a tripod with you. But I thought it came together well, the festival. And I liked the small business angle that you took. So that was a very, very nice way to look at that festival from the point of view of how it was helping small business owners. So that worked out good. Just be careful of the shaky video, can be distracting, and putting your sources like you did with your first source there in the lawn with things going on behind her. So that's my only, just to kind of keep you developing. And I said Lauren, I said Laurie, did I miss anybody? I didn't, and I want to say a special thank you to Sydney, our producer. This was not easy. She's producing for the first time in her life. And she has 5 people who are not showing up. She had great ideas and worked with the rest of you. You had great ideas as to how we should put this together. And she was able to work with all of you, which is what a good producer does, including my crazy ideas. She worked with all of our ideas and put the show together. And I was really impressed, and I really thank you for that. And also our anchor, we had him working on 100 things, and he he tried his best, and till the very last moment he was updating stories, important stories, and you looked very composed. Nobody knew what you'd gone through the whole day, with everybody else being on edge. Is this going to be complete or not? And all these stories that you were updating till the very last moment, sensitive stories like the missing woman who was found dead. And that was not an easy reader to put together and to keep updating. And I really thank Catherine and everybody for, we were one newsroom, the digital and the TV. Lauren also it was a difficult day with so many challenges, and all of you picked stories that were really important and complicated and sensitive, and yours was also, the two of us were like going through legal documents and verifying information about a massive scandal, this NBA thing. And then you were like a pro. The tease was like not written, kind of was a little discombobulated because Sydney was doing it at the last moment to be able to tease Becca's piece that we wanted to play. And you hopped over it and you recovered, and you still told us what's coming up after the break. Very nice delivery of a very complicated story. And I really appreciate you had a source, you made it interesting. Very, very well done. And I hope I didn't skip over anyone. Catherine, again, thank you also. Did I skip over? Did I acknowledge all of you? And thank you to Tyler and to Caleb for trying. I'm sorry, Caleb, that Premiere Pro, what happened with that? You had your package and everything? You want to pick up a mic and tell us?
I was just having like a technical problem, and then I thought I was going to be like a superhero and fix it, and I spent too much time trying to do that, and then kind of screwed me and Sydney for that matter. So I should have just exited out and restarted earlier, but I guess now we know.
Maybe ask Andrew or ask anybody for help earlier.
Yeah,
because I know I'm like you. I don't like to bother other people. I want to fix it
myself. And everyone was already so busy.
But at a certain point when you have a deadline, you have to let go of, I don't want to bother other people.
Yeah, but my bad, Sydney.
So Yeah, but your package would have been a great addition. It came together. It was very interesting. I'm glad you didn't give up on it because it gave us some quite unique information. And I wonder if we could, if it's ready, if we could post it, if Catherine can post it.
Yeah, I
online.
could get something ready for digital.
We have a bigger, actually, we have a bigger audience online. So I think it's important for the public. So if it's ready, and if you can give Catherine a lead and everything, a caption, where she can post it so that it gets some play because it's important.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't give up on it. Guys, I'm very grateful to you. It was kind of nerve-wracking this morning when more and more people, they started calling in sick last night and then in the morning, and even our weather anchor, it was 15 minutes before our meeting. And so I was thinking, how are we going to do this? And it all came together, and you're a team, and you support me, and you support everyone, and that's professionalism, and that's what's required in the real world, and very, very highly valued, because no show can succeed without everybody doing their best and having our backs. And you displayed that very well today, and I'm really, really proud of you. I know you're all tired, but I'm a little nervous about the fact that a lot of people are not here today, but we still have to think about our election coverage. So we've got an important show. Ethan, you're the producer, but seeing, what you did today, I have no doubt that you and Tyler will handle the pre and the post election show. If you're able to work with the same reporter before and after, that will be the best thing for the reporters. For your show, the reporters should kind of prepare everybody. Tomorrow's voting. This is what you need to know from all the counties. And then for Tyler, for your show, you should be able to have all these reporters who would have gone on Tuesday to shoot the elections come back on Wednesday morning, update the results, and produce packages, and think of interesting ways in which you could have a solid, maybe half your show, or
I was going to ask you, how much do you want it to be about election results versus also just
as much content as, if we can do the entire show on election results would be nice in different ways, but engage everybody, not just the 5 reporters. Engage everybody. Maybe one of them can do an interview with a political analyst analyzing the results. Think of ways to add on to this coverage and to really inform people what happened. I think the focus should be, for both of you, on the Public Service Commissioner results and the election, because that is, every county will be voting on that, and it's an extremely important position. And you should probably consider having a political analyst and involving as many people as possible. Could be also your anchor to do the political analyst, looking ahead at the vote. And with you also, think of ways in which you can do that in an interesting way. Of course, we need everybody to pitch a story. If you're not working on the election, pitch a story. If you are able to pitch an election-related story, that will be nice, because we want to cover also, not just cover the election results and analysis, but I'm thinking we could also consider covering some of the issues that were big in the election. So if you can think of an issue, like Becca, in your county, if your beat is the police, I don't know if there's a special issue related to the election or something that was part of the election. I'm just making this up, and if there's some kind of a local county initiative that addresses this, that is, I don't know, just something that's a sidebar that shows what's happening in the county on those issues. If there's a T-splost or an S-splost or an E-splost, whatever, if it's an E-splost, some kind of education, school-related story. I'm just throwing out ideas, something more than just the election results. would be nice, or just anything that's newsy that day. We don't have to do the whole show on elections. But we can just work with what we have, the best of the best, and whatever you guys have to contribute. I was thinking for ACC, I was looking at the schedule, two possibilities. Izzy and Sophia, the two of you, one of you is quick turn, I believe, or something like that, which I want you to have an opportunity to do. But if you guys want to look at the schedule, talk to each other, if you wanted to handle, one of you handle one day, or the other, I think for next week, pre and post-election, you're both MMJs, because the three of you, Tyler, you and you, are ACC. So for that county, Tyler is producing. You are the ones who can cover the pre and the post-election. So if one of you wants to take that up, but I think, Sophia, I looked at the schedule, you have a quick turn, and I wanted you to have that experience. You're digital? Yes, you're the, oh, you are the, you're, okay, so she's your anchor, okay. So how are we gonna do ACC? Election.
I talked to you about the Public Service Commission for after.
But we need the results, somebody to go on Tuesday and shoot the election. Talk to voters, talk to poll workers. In the morning update, the latest election results. So that's what we need, somebody to capture the whole day of voting and do a wrap of the voting. The pre-election is a little bit different, but the post-election, whoever's doing post-election, and one of you has to do that, has to be on Tuesday. How are your schedules on Tuesday? If you're anchoring, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but if you are free on Tuesday to capture the election and be the anchor, that makes you look good as an anchor. But I don't want to put too much pressure on you. So if you guys just want to chat and decide, and Tyler is your producer, you could talk it out and see. I know you have other classes, so however you decide to do that would be wonderful. So talk to each other, and can we talk again on Wednesday in the post-show critique? We can talk about that and nail down who is actually going to cover. We need from every county somebody to cover the election day, how it went. You don't have to spend the entire day there, but you have to kind of give us a sense of how the day went, and have make sure that you can talk to a poll worker or somebody from the elections office in the morning to give you the latest results and to tell you if there was anything that happened unusual when you weren't there, so that we know how the day went. Just to have a contact there where you can check in the morning and make sure that you understand completely how the day went. So for Barrow County, I was thinking Abby looked like the best contact for that. She's not here today. So Tyler, can you take down, the two of you, Tyler and Ethan, can you write this down real quick in your phone or something for Athens Clarke County, or I can put it in broadcast channel, or if you want to write it down, I can still. Okay, so for ACC, we're looking at Izzy and Sophia. They're going to talk it out. Then Barrow County, we're looking at, I think Abby is our best choice looking at the schedule. For Jackson, I was thinking Joshua. For Madison, I was thinking Zach. How's Tuesday for you? Will you be able to?
I can make room for this.
Okay, but you've got to go and cover the election. You can't come on Wednesday morning. You need footage and talking to voters and, okay. And Oconee, I was looking at the two Laurens. If you can talk amongst each other, Lauren and Lauren. Which one?
I have class from 9 to 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, and what about you, Lauren? That's the day that you...
Tuesday, Thursday, class from 9 to 5 as well.
From 9 to 5. And who was the third person in Oconee? Okay, so we need somebody from a different county to handle Oconee. Is anybody interested in politics and would like to do this? Oconee County is a very interesting county. It's close by. So think about it and let me know, but we do need to have somebody do that. So think about it. I'll post this in our channel and ask people to volunteer if they're interested. Maybe some of the people who are absent would be interested in doing this. Okay, guys, I'm sorry to keep you. I wanted to let you go a little bit early. I know you're tired, but thank you for everything. Yeah.
So I'm producing on Wednesday, and I know we had like one more county left for election coverage. Which one was that? We haven't covered yet. Because I thought we were like going down the list of like
Yeah.
trying to cover each county.
I think we've done Jackson. There was a T-Splost or something. We've done ACC.
We've done Madison.
We've done Oconee. Yeah, Oconee hasn't been done.
Lauren, do you know what you're doing on Wednesday for MMJ? Are you MMJing or not?
The sheriff's office was having like my own interview.
Okay,
But
well,
I don't know. She hasn't responded, so what do you know?
nothing. I just need election coverage, but if either of y'all are MMJing and want to take it, you're MMJing. You're not MMJing. Yeah, I don't think you're MMJing.
So you're saying coverage on Wednesday?
Oh, you're Sojo, so you're not even.
Lauren's
Strict, right?
Lauren's MMJing on the 29th. That's this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Lauren's MMJing.
So if you don't get a contact for your thing, would you want to cover elections for the show on Wednesday? Okay.
I'm coming with education, local option, sales tax, coming up, which I did stuff on the mock show, so I can really get contacts.
Actually, can I slack you just let me know to that real quick? For any county, I know ECC does those, but if there are any other counties recovering that have like SPLOST stuff, if they pass, then for my post-election show, I would love to do stories on that, because I remember when we had speakers in at the beginning of the semester, one of them was talking about how people don't really understand like SPLOST and what that really means and how that can help and stuff, so it'd be cool if you guys were looking for a story, one of those passes in the county.
Also, Lauren, none of my sources for my Madison County elections got back to me, and I just showed up and was like, I'm here, so you can talk to me. And so I eventually got 2 sources from just showing up. So like if nobody gets back to you, just showing up might do something too. I got there like when the polls open for early voting, so. But if you're MMJ for like a different story, just let me know. I'll figure something out. You know, I mean that's why we have quick turn.
Yeah, and I'm quick turn on.
Oh, you're quick turn?
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, showing up works. Not always, but most of the times. Yeah. Because it's more personal, you know, an email is very impersonal, but when people see you, it's different. Okay, guys, really proud of you. Thank you very, very much. I'm really impressed with all of you, and I will see you on Wednesday.